Welcome, Final Fantasy Randomizer fans! My name is June Bobby, and I'm your host for tonight's feature presentation, a special showcase match for Season 3 of our Iron Goal Heavy Metal Championship. Tonight, we have our current first place, Ale Markin, who has been challenged by second place contender Burt Reynolds for the top spot. Tagging along, we have a few other challengers looking to make their way up the ladder. Joining us on the lower left screen is Papa Dukes, and in the lower right corner is none other than Goats Pirate. With more racers signing up off stream, this is going to be one heck of a match. So let's talk about tonight's flag set, shall we? Our runners, hardcore as they are, have all agreed to run tonight's contest on a set of mystery flags crafted by yours truly. So let's have a look at some of those highlights, and we'll fill in the rest as we go. So, coming up, we have 5 incentivized locations in addition to the NPCs that are typically part of the game, along with 2 loose items, the canoe and the floater. So progression is probably going to be locked behind some of those travel items. We have some interesting scaling going on here. Overworld encounters are reduced to nothing. This will allow our competitors to navigate quite quickly, but they will bump into quite a few encounters in the dungeons. Enemies and bosses are scaled a little on the high side, but nothing too difficult, I hope. Prices have gone up, experience has gone up as well, but none and dead party members will be gaining experience. All of our runners are forced into a 2-person party. We've got the Master here, which some of them might be a little scared of, although we did enable increased magic defense from Master level ups, so that should be a nice little bonus for them. And then our potential MVP here, the Thief. Hopefully our runners don't decide to count it out too early, because lockpicking is enabled at level 18 and the ninja and thief agility is set to 120, so this is going to be one beast of a chance to strike first character. We also have 3 NPCs recruitable throughout the game, so hopefully they continue their quest chains to find any one of those 3 mages. And our parties will be starting with a couple of items to help them out. Since we don't have the ability to roll with casters, we have some caster items that we've given all of our runners. Additional considerations, these will come up as the game progresses. We're running with Weaponizer, Enemizer, and Spellcrafter, so those are going to be the big ones to look for. And lastly, players can only save on the overworld, so we've disabled in-saving and save on game over. So it will just be via tents, cabins, and houses. The gate is about to drop. And while we wait for that, let me just welcome into the booth my tracker for this evening and co-commentator, Woat. So, Woat, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing quite well, and I'm also realizing that I don't think I actually have access to a broadcast notes channel to share with you.
That's quite alright. You can just continue typing in our direct messages. That will be fine.
That works just as well.
Alright. So, we have 15 seconds until our runners begin.
Alright.
Oh, I am so excited for this.
So,
Oop.
Question the first.
Go for it.
Why overworld only saving?
So I wanted to kind of mimic a no overworld type of seed. And the best way I could do that with a floor entrance shuffle is to give kind of 0 encounters on the overworld type of thing. But I also wanted to disincentivize the use of saving in a deep town and using that as like a makeshift exit spell. So if they find a town deep into a dungeon, they're going to have to make the call of, am I really going to get out of here, or try to stock up, or whatever they're going to wind up doing here. But they're not going to be able to reset out of that.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely kind of dig that. Of course, as you're saying that, I think I just saw Melmond at Quinaria Castle.
That is true. So I did. Melmond is a different town, although I think that is Melmond that actually got hit. Now, here's the fun part with this one. I believe that is a Zozo Melmond. So hopefully we startle some people as they walk over some of those tiles.
So I will admit I was busy trying to finish preparing notes. Do they start with anything free?
They do. They have quite a few items. Heal pots, tents, softs, and pures. They also have a caster AoE item, a caster regular item, and a heal equipment. So all of them are primed to actually be able to do something. It's just a matter of what that something is. And all of them are already in vastly different locations, finding out that there are no overworld encounters, but quickly running into encounters in the dungeons.
And I see that they all have ships.
They do. We have enabled ship and canal were freebies here. And speedboat,
Alright.
one of my favorite flags. And I'm sure it'll be one of theirs.
Yeah, it looks like you also went ahead and shuffled dead ends into everything.
Of course. Wouldn't be fun without dead ends. So I have already given up on trying to track where entrances are because everybody has split into different locations immediately. Looks like Goat's Pirate forgot that inns don't save.
Well, it looks like I think Spider Floor there is at Matoya, and Elfland is at Dwarf Cave. So I'm gonna note that real quick.
So that's really nice to find towns right off, right at these beginning entrances. I've run quite a few floor entrance shuffles where towns are either very deep or very late into the seed, but to be able to find that level 3 magic, or at least, I guess not with this party, but to be able to find another weapon shop in both Melmond and Elfland will allow all the members to pick up some caster items, because every weapon in this game will cast a spell.
So I don't think that your fears of this taking 2.5 hours are going to be justified. In case you missed it, Temple of Fiends is at Elfland Castle, and Quinaria Castle is at Elfland.
So Temple of Fiends I actually did not make deep on purpose. My original plan for this actually was to have Temple of Fiends available immediately, or rather the Temple of Fiends Revisited available immediately, but I couldn't do that without also giving them all 4 orbs. And so that was a little bit of a bummer. So they are going to have to hunt down all 4 of the Fiends here. I did want to make it so that people could benefit from an early cheeky Topher check and grab a Massa. But alas, that is not in the cards for this evening.
I mean, it's one of those things. So, I did get a chance to peep the blursings that we've got going on. So, the good news is, tonight, the thief can take a punch.
Yes, I did see the vitality there. And that's going to come in really handy. I actually, in my trial run, had a thief with very similar blessings, although that minus hit percent I believe I saw. Not going to go so well.
-1 hit percent, but with black belt vitality and plus 20 vitality, like, that is probably the tankiest thief anyone's ever going to see.
Oh, yeah. It's just unfortunate because you and I both know now that this party is guaranteed to have a Masamune at the end game. So that thief is going to be, like I said it earlier, probably the MVP here. The master is kind of a bait. I wanted people to think, okay, we're going master strats, we're going to be grinding a whole lot, we're going to look for the overworld grind type of thing. But really, master's going to wind up tanking for that thief, I think, unless they find a really solid grind tile.
At the same time, the master did pick up plus 10 hit percent.
Yeah, that'll definitely reduce the grind. And hopefully they recognize also that the party experience is split. So regardless of the fact that they're running with nuns or dead party members, it's going to be completely split.
They're not going to notice that for like...
Well, they're not going to notice it until they kill off half the party, and then they go, why did I do that?
Yeah.
On the plus side, though, the scaling with each orb is plus 50% experience. So at the end of the game, if they decide to wait until they take the grind, that plus 200% will make a dent, and we'll have a full party capable of taking down a short Topher.
I see that you left Monster in a Box on, and Alternative Fiends.
So yes, Monster in a Box is on because those alternative fiends are actually protecting the key items. Those are the only trapped chests that we have. So if we found a Monster in a Box, they're going to want that.
Have I called you evil yet?
It's probably one of the words that's been on your mind. So here, Goat's Pirate is... I mean, this is solid to come into Cardia for all of these chests, because we know that one of those is going to be, or should be incentivized, yeah. And there's a lot of other gear to be had.
Okay. And it looks like that Bahamut Cave is under Melmond.
Man, I rolled an easy one for them tonight. Although I didn't notice enough of the spells, or the equipment that they have. I guess I can see now. I'm hoping that some of them get some kill spells, or anything else that relates to power word thresholds, because I did set that up to a 900.
Yeah, I didn't want to crack the spell shops open until I'd had a chance to confirm that you didn't put on complete spell shuffle. So
no, so levels are relative to the town that they wind up in.
Okay.
The only downside is that with Spellcrafter, red mages kind of get the shaft here. So if a red mage is the first one that they encounter via the recruitment, not that you wouldn't take it, but it would certainly be a replaceable candidate.
Gotcha.
Those eyes in the sky looking pretty good. They're not the regular eyes that we're all used to, but certainly would be worth taking a few levels on. Randomizer is kind of weird like that.
I have completely forgotten that I'm also supposed to be clicking things off, so I think everyone at this point has at least found the chime.
I believe that is true.
And I think Ale at least... Okay, Ale has not got... Well, he's about to get the chime. Alright. Goats, I think, does have the cube and the chime.
So the unfortunate thing that I'm finding almost everyone is doing, except for Goat's Pirate, who has figured this out, is the thief needs to be in slot 1 here. There is a huge benefit to having the thief in slot 1 to get around this dungeon encounter rate.
I mean, you also probably just want to have the thief in slot 1 because that black belt is made of paper.
Well,
at least for the
that's
first
true
few
too.
Levels.
Yeah, that thief is going to outscale the health pretty quickly. I think it started with a flat bonus as well, right?
No, it was plus 20 vitality and black belt vitality were its two bonuses. So it's starting off with a thief's normal HP, but that is going to dial up real quick. Like, over on Goat's Pirate's side, that is a level 4 thief that is already at 120 HP.
Aelmarkin, recognizing in the Temple of Fiends that he can talk to the bats and find out some stuff about the fiends, also finding out that we're running with alternate fiends, so hopefully he's taking note of that. Being informed that we have a level 5 thief now. Level 6 with 150 health, that is crazy.
Papa Duck's checking to make sure that the thief lockpicking isn't very low. Alright.
I was wondering if he grabbed a key before I had a chance to see it.
Yeah. Alright, I think I'm now caught back up on key items, so... Yeah. Burt Reynolds has just been digging out this dungeon under Matoya's cave. I don't know if he's found anything of immense value, but...
It seems like everybody has the right idea of getting some sort of early grind on instead of just doing a deep dive. Oh, it appears that Papa Dukes has found Lich.
I think that's at Titan's East? I think that's right, because I think he went in, found Earth 4, and then kept going.
So, I had considered, in addition to the NPCs, gating recruitment behind Fiends as well. And I opted against that, because I was worried about a case just like this, where you find it way too early. It would kind of trivialize the rest of the seed. It's also probably not Lich.
Well, fortunately, we don't have to worry about Lich today. Today we have Asura.
Casting Fear? Does that actually do anything?
I don't know. I have admittedly not tinkered with Spellcrafter too much to know, like, what Fear does to PCs. But Asura did something to,
That is unfortunate. That is a fairly weak fiend, but still not capable of taking it down.
I mean, I don't think anyone's bothered to buy, like, armor. Okay, so that's Marsh Cave, actually, that's at. So let me correct my notes.
Has anyone realized yet that we do have a canal that is given?
Yeah, several people have already been over to Melmond. That was where that Bahamut cave is.
Doing some more. Oh, I looked like magic checks, but I guess not. I found that the key here is find towns as quickly as possible and buy out their weapon shops. Once you can...
El Markin already.
Taken out Asura. Nice. At a time of 0 minutes.
Okay.
We'll have to just go back
There
and
are two of us
tweak that.
to have... yeah, that's easy enough to fix. Let me just...
We'll change that in post.
Nah, I mean, it's one of those things, thanks to the miracle of racetime.gg.
So, Aelmark and finding C-Split. Still going to do treasure chest checks because the runners don't know that there are only 2 loose items and where these incentives are. And, oh boy, are they not going to be happy when they find out Marsh Locked is one of them.
I do appreciate that you've struck this careful balance between throwing them bones and then immediately turning around and doing things they hate.
Oh, of course.
Alright. I think this is actually... This waterfall here is the bottom of Matoya.
So I'm always optimistic about these progression items because once we get a party under our belts, it's the seed is just going to collapse on itself. It'll be much quicker to get that, even just an extra, I don't know, fade stick caster.
Oh, that's mean. That's spider floor into the maze to get to a proc gen waterfall.
I didn't use the proc gen maze, so they have that going for them. I considered it. I'm not gonna lie.
Is it just the vanilla maze?
It is the vanilla maze.
Okay, I think Bert figured that out, but I definitely saw Ale spending a lot of time trying to find the entrance.
Ah, that is a very, very nice waterfall for them. And the robot with the herb for Burt Reynolds.
Okay, we have absolutely no idea where the elf prince is.
So one thing I do expect our runners to check is once they get the canoe, we do have the Lefane River dock. But it's kind of a bait there too because we don't have the Gaia Mountain Pass. So they will need the floater. I can't envision a case where they skip out on all of Cardia Islands and Gaia. I guess there is a possibility that the seed would roll in their favor like that. But that floater's going to be loose and they're going to need to hunt it down.
Okay, I'm starting to see why you were like, yeah, the seed could be over in an hour and a half. It could take 2.5 hours.
Yeah, there's a lot of flex here. I was actually thinking if they rolled like a kill item, it trivializes a lot of the encounters. Fortunately, they have not, and they do have a Fade Axe, which is gonna do work. It's not gonna do as much as you'd hope for it to be Fade 6. White magic in the Spellcrafter is only 75% as effective as the black magic counterparts.
Thanks, one fine day.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. I say we as if I'm one of the devs, but I believe it would benefit from being tweaked a little bit.
Yeah. But either way, So Bert's finally going to go find out that Temple of Fiends and Canaria Castle are next door to each other. Just a quick jaunt south from where they're supposed to be.
You know what? Garland got tired. Didn't want to run away with the princess too far. It's fine.
I mean, it does do a little better job of explaining how she got back to the castle without any help.
I guess I never really considered that she just magically teleports there. Well, I guess if she teleports you with her, it's assumed that you are escorting her, but
yeah.
In Floor Entrance Shuffle, she does just dip out.
Oh, Astaroth has stone poison.
That sounds fun. Was that the Astaroth from Bahamut's cave?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to be hitting their head into that one a bit.
Yeah, it is a Mesopotamian god party over there.
Ah, it's 2-for-1 special. Look at you busting out the history mythology facts.
I have a certain fondness for Ishtar, so I recognize her corruption, the Goetia, as well.
That is a little further out of my wheelhouse, but I do appreciate alternate fiends.
Look, everyone's got to have a hobby. But, comparative mythology aside, there's another point I was going to raise. Oh, did you turn on that they have to fight Bahamut as well?
I did not, actually. That was one of my mercies. I considered it. I did consider all of these things. There were a handful of issues that I did not want to press. I wanted them to hang on just a little bit longer and not feel like they had to forfeit every time they did something.
I mean, you're still going to turn them into Paranoid Rex, but...
Ugh, Mirage 2 is flipped. I forgot to mention, yes, we do have flipped maps on. So, there are horizontal flips, and Mirage 2 might be my least favorite one.
I feel like any of the, pure lava volcano floors are equally bad when flipped.
I've actually gotten to know them pretty well from a lot of the co-op practice, and you start to just recognize where the staircase is relative to the rest of the stuff, because they're all asymmetric. So that the flip doesn't hurt so much, and you just have a general left to right flip in your mind. Oof, those rangers are a little rough.
My vote for most hilarious, though, does go to the Temple of Fiends getting flipped.
Yes, it is incredibly annoying until you recognize the the pillars around Garland.
The, like, one subtle bit of asymmetry that keeps you from running over to check a locked door.
Ooh, Goat's Pirate in a great place to take a huge lead if he would just check that chest and be able to take down the Fiend. There's a chance that it's not one of those crazy fiends. And that will definitely be a canoe or a floater. And unfortunately, we're not going to be able to use the floater until we have the canoe, but at least that's one half of the travel puzzle.
Alright, so where is Goat's Pirate? Because we just found Elfland Castle.
I believe that was Northwest Castle. No?
Okay. Well, I'm sure Chad will correct you if you're wrong.
Could be wrong. I reserve the right to be wrong. I was more concerned about that Mirage 2.
Well, that's what Elfland is below, so...
Alright, so then we'll go with Elfland Castle. So, unfortunately, Goat's Pirate, not the one with the herb. Did, I guess, Burt Reynolds make it out from that waterfall?
I believe I saw... Yeah, I think he did, because that was just get out of the maze and then run straight up, and... Oh, look, it's Asura again.
That's huge, though, because that means that we, as commentators, now know Mirage 2 and TFC Floor have our floater and canoe. Oh, I guess one of them could actually be the bridge, because that's not part of the... That would be very trolly, to have to fight a fiend for the bridge. Burt Reynolds doing some work here.
Yeah, it's a good thing that all of his sources of magical damage are non-elemental.
This was a very kind seed for the kinds of things that they are encountering.
Ooh, Lefane.
Burt is rewarded with a canoe.
Alrighty.
That's
Thank you for shouting that out.
I'm sorry.
No, I totally would have missed that.
We've got Goat's Pirate on the Bridge of Destiny. Required war mech, but it's not actually a mech necessarily. A war something. But Goat's Pirate wants none of that. But I believe that was at Onrak. I don't know how deep it was.
Actually, I think that was Double Cardia North. I think he had just saved outside of Onrak. Because I think he found Lefane at Double Cardia South. Like Bahamut's Cave, normally. This Northwest Castle is somewhere.
Well, it's under TFC. But I don't know where Burt wound up getting into TFC. That dragon armor rolling up is such a troll because they are not going to be able to grab a knight.
I mean... Is knight armor a thing that can be rolled? I don't think so.
No, I believe fighter armor is the extent of the bonus.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's still good money.
Yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't able to pare down the money as much as I wanted to. I'm finding that they are going to be flush with cash here. I tried to remove the scaling from the experience in gold scaling, but it didn't seem to make a huge difference.
Did you turn down bonuses?
I'll have to look at my JSON later. Ooh, Muddle 6.
Yeah, because in my experience, in making seeds that are kind of a pain to get started in, it's the bonus, like the static bonus, that really is where you see a lot of money flow in really the early to mid game. Because, you know, you fight a group of imps and suddenly you have 1500 GP.
Right. Well, it is it is something that I didn't work out, but it is to their benefit, and so I wasn't about to make it any harder. Once I had run my practice seed, I was like, all right, it's a little rough, but I don't need it to be much much harder. Maybe I'll change that for the challenge weekly.
Okay, I think I've lost track of where... Was Burt Reynolds the one who found Northwest Castle?
Oh, it was on the right side of the screen. Was it Burt or was it Goats?
I think it was Burt. So Northwest Castle is actually at the bottom of the Northwest Castle location.
Interesting. I like these French vanilla type of things.
Yeah.
Oh, forgot to mention, Hall of Dragons is on. So that hallway is not as safe as Goats Pirate thought it was going to be.
I mean, I think that now that Hall of Dragons is a thing, you just have to assume at all times that that hall is now a death trap.
It's unfortunate that the Randomizer allows them to be tigers. And that's a pretty common thing for that particular location.
And I think we're going to see Burt make an attempt at this Astaroth.
Elmarkin found what was not a bad tile there to get a little bit of a grind on. Some version of a Medusa-like. Now, unfortunately, this floater loop is not going to do anything for Ale. We know that the loose items are sea and sky right now, or at least Mirage.
Yeah. He still might find a grind tile or some useful gear.
Oh, and I just reminded myself again, one of the Mirage 2 chest could very well be the bridge. Alright, so we're getting a check on Earth Cave. That is Titan's East.
Okay. So we now know both ends of the Titan's tunnel. Because the other end is under Provoca.
Alright, Goats Pirate making a long-distance check to Crescent. This is part of the reason also why I wanted no overworld encounters, the ability to do that, and rewarded with Sarda. Still no NPC. Unfortunately, even if Sarda had the NPC, you can't recruit it until you kill the vampire.
Either way, we have a ruby.
And on Elmarkin's side, we have a ribbon, the non-incentive one. So he benefits from going into the floater loop, but not with progression.
I have a hard time believing he's going to complain. Because the thing is, that ribbon, that makes that Astaroth a lot less intimidating.
Right. So perhaps we can see bottom of the Dragon's Hoard here. So Titan's Tunnel is actually incentivized. Goats Pirate is going to find himself a fiend over here.
I hope he's saved first.
Oh, it's a Sora again. Now I know we have a Barbaricia somewhere, because I saw them talking to the bats, but I don't know who our final fiend is. It doesn't look like everybody else stocked up in the same way as Burt did in terms of caster gear. I don't know if he found some of that gear or if that was purchasing. But
Burt completely cleaned out Spider Floor. Like, while everyone else was getting progression, a slab.
So, fortunately, we know where Melmond is because we started the game there.
Yeah. While everyone else was exploring, Burt was studying the blade. And by studying the blade, I mean...
Crushing Sky 2.
Yeah, he was digging everything out of Sky 2. So that's presumably where a lot of that stuff came from, is Burt just taking the time.
I'm still a huge fan of that Muddle 6. Muddle is a very powerful power word with sleep and confusion. And with the power word threshold set to 900, it pretty much guarantees, as long as an enemy is not resistant to it, that they will be crowd controlled.
Yeah. Not resistant to it and not like a boss.
Well, a carry or an echidna would allow it to go through, actually.
Yeah. But I'm just thinking in terms of pure HP. Like
yes.
There's not a lot of enemies that aren't like straight up fiend fights in this game that are
going to scale that high.
To have 900.
Right. I did in my initial playthroughs have scaling on enemies up to about 300% health. That was a little too rough.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Another attempt at this Astaroth. Lit 3 coming out. Oof. Yeah, Goat's Parrot's gonna need the ribbon to get through that, I think.
Well, we're about to see.
Elmark and having the ribbon should make this an easier fight. A lock stick, a roost stick. What else could you ask for as you're prepping for endgame? Or I guess they're not sticks, but
I was gonna say, okay, the lock stick is technically a stick. It's just you got a little something.
It's an extra stick.
Together.
Sure.
Yeah.
Doesn't it say lock 2 sticks? That's what it's saying there.
Yeah.
All right. We've got fads.
Ooh, I didn't catch that we had a fast aid item.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty big. What is the weapon that he is wielding? Because that is insane damage.
I don't know, but
what a hilarious chest. Oh, I'm so happy that happened.
That was beautiful. Well, we'll probably get a chance to glimpse what his weapon is in the near future.
And a heal 2 knife +3. I'm curious how that rolled. Oh, there you go. Just a lot of crit. So Aelmark is 1 level away from finding out, well, hopefully finding out, that his ninja is able to pick locks.
I mean, he'd need to go somewhere where there are locks that need picking, I feel like.
Corneria Castle would be a wonderful one that is incentivized. But yeah, still not at the appropriate level. And unfortunately, or I guess fortunately for them, you would never actually get you'd never have the need for the ninja to pick the lock. It would just be a nicety, because they will not make it so that a forced thief will open up a door for progression for you.
Yeah.
Which I don't know that I agree with. I think that if we force a thief that has a lock-picking thing, that should be actually one of the checks that they make. I'm gonna have to write to my devs.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like the answer that the devs are going to give you is, when you can figure out the logic necessary to make that happen, then we'll happily implement it.
If thief equals forced, then there we go. Boom. Millions of dollars right here.
Devs, I take no responsibility for this man and the horrible things he's saying.
Horrible things? I'm saying wonderful things. I'm providing a wonderful experience for everybody to watch here. I mean, look at these runners. They've already got 3 out of the 4 already have an orb lit. They're all running around with these fancy weapons. Ael's got adults in his party. It's looking good. Burt Reynolds about to find his ribbon.
I think he already did. I think this is him getting out.
Burt Reynolds skipping the chest because he already found his ribbon? Look at that. That's what I said.
Remembering that he has opened those boxes.
That Guard 4 hammer or Fog 5 nunchucks are not anything to sneeze at. The resists are going to help with a lot of these multi-hitting bosses. Just the extra absorb when you can't find gear to equip a master or a thief.
And Bert, immediately recognizing that that ribbon will make it easy on him, heads back to Bahamut.
Hopefully willing to roost up a bit. I don't believe that he has that heal 2 dagger.
I think he does. I think I saw it in his inventory. I'm just not sure if he's wearing it. Yeah. Elmarkin, meanwhile, managed to take a wrong turn at Albuquerque, did not find that almost immediate robot.
My thought on ProcGen Waterfall is always up and to the left. More times than not, I have found it there.
I definitely can see that. I feel like in this case, though, you have to wonder: is it up and to the left, or is it up and to the right?
At which point, I'm always going left, because it's just if you have one thing, you stick to it until you don't. All right, gotta find that herb off the robot. Looks like Bert's gonna get through Astaroth and promote his thief. Papa Duke's hitting level 16, also on the ribbon loop, as we should call it, I suppose.
I hate it.
This Lamia tile, though, or Lamia, how do you pronounce that word?
I think it's Lamia because it's a ancient Greek word, I believe.
Works for me. I feel like that's worth taking a couple times. It's a very quick one. It's not a huge experience boost, but I don't know, maybe at level 16 it might not be as relevant.
Okay, Bert also getting the automatic promotion.
Might be considering, do I have to fight Bahamut? Yeah.
Yeah, he is going to go out and heal.
Does not trust me.
Actually, wait, no, he's...
There we go. Congratulations, Bert. You didn't have to fight it.
We're going to need to ask him afterward what got him to turn around and go, you know what, I'm willing to bank that Shumbabi is not that evil.
I don't know, is there really any way that you could say I'm not evil after this? This is... I don't know. I feel like this isn't actually a crazy flag set if you know what you're looking for.
Nah, like, it's one of those things, even as far as a mystery seed goes, that's where that fast stick was.
Sky 2?
Yeah.
So, Bert just looked at that heal 2 dagger and then didn't equip it, and I can't imagine that he found a better weapon than that. Yeah, at least.
I mean, it could be something just as simple. I don't know how much experience Bert has with the weaponizer. You know, you see a dagger if you're used to vanilla and you just immediately go, yeah, this is garbage.
Yeah.
So maybe it's one of those things, if you're not looking for the dagger to be good, it might be very easy to miss that the dagger's actually useful.
Yeah, Weaponizer and Spellcrafter both really play with your ability to gauge how something's going. And the Enemizer doesn't do any favors either. There's a lot of just randomness that you're not necessarily keeping track of in your mind, but that's occupying brain space to do the right things. It just feels very uncomfortable to go through all 3 of those sets after, I don't know, how many years has this been out? 30 years plus? So Elmarkin, oh no, make that left, you get yourself a canoe. Which Burt Reynolds is promptly using to his fullest advantage. Gonna check out Volcano and Ice Cave. Nice little save at the junction to reset back. Ordeals is one of my incentivized locations. It is the vanilla chest also, and I did that intentionally so that people would actually open all the chests.
Okay, so Onrak's at Northwest Castle. Got it.
So it looks like Ale is only a few steps away from discovering his canoe. Burt Reynolds unhappy with how that fight just went.
I do kind of like Ordeals' volcano palette.
Some of the palettes, when they swap, look really, really clean or really nice. Some of them are just absolutely atrocious. Purple Waterfall I can deal with. Red Ordeals, I like it.
Well, I think what I like about it is it reminds me of the color scheme of Castle B and Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance.
I actually haven't played like any of the Castlevanias after Super Castlevania. So
I can at least strongly recommend the GBA and DS Castlevanias.
So I definitely have the desire to have played through them. I don't know that I have the desire to play through them right now as far as things vying for my time. But I am aware that they're decent.
That's completely legitimate. But yeah, like in Harmony of Dissonance, there is a ruined, there are ruined areas in the castle you're exploring that have a very similar feel to how Ordeals came out with the volcano palette. That's what I was trying to get at.
Right. No, I have that. I have this thing. My wife is calling it synesthesia. I suppose it can cover any sort of like mismatch between senses. I see areas and it does bring me to other places and memories, and so I totally get that feeling.
Yeah.
That Astaroth is not nice, and I'm not keen on them fighting it again as a refight.
Honestly, as bad as Astaroth 1 has been, I think that we're probably fine. Like, Astaroth 2 might actually be slightly less horrible.
So, also to note, the shortened Topher only has 2 Fiend refights. I deliberately did that because I intended to have an alternate Fiend battle, and then in my practice run, I found out that I was facing Chaos, and after however long it took me to actually get through to that, I was like, I'm not changing the flags at this point. I want to make sure that it's still beatable. So they get a Chaos and the benefit of only half as many Fiend refights.
If we ever can find a Dwarf Cave, we have at least one of the 2 turn-ins found.
So they're running out of locations that they can check, but that Mirage 2 is still one that I would hope somebody goes back to so we can confirm that that's the floater. Because the canoe is pretty easily accessible.
I mean, they've still got 4 entrances they can go to. Because you also have, you have Northern Docks on, so Mirage Tower is in play. And I think Ordeals might be Gaia, because I can't think of where else would have that color palette that we haven't already been.
Right. Papa Duke skipping over the incentive chest at Titans. Probably going to go out and save.
And also, Crescent is somewhere. Oh, that must be Ice Cave.
Yes.
Alright, so Provoke is the only one we haven't found yet. And with the exception of Onrak, most of them have been fairly shallow checks.
This was a very generous seed. Oh, confused old men. Love it.
And I'm assuming you turned early sages on instead of doing the most evil thing you can do with confused old men.
You know, I didn't consider that, and I should have. But you're right. There is an early sages. But we also have a very early lich here, so very accessible.
Yeah.
Ailmarkin, about to bump into our war fill-in-the-blank. So I'm curious what we got this time. I've experienced the War Elf and the War Hydra.
Bert, trying to remember where he parked his boat. And I'm not actually sure he parked it over here, but he's better at this game than I am.
Turning in that ruby. I wonder if he's just going to pop out the other side of Titan at that point.
Well, I think he already knows that's going to pop him out at Earth Cave.
A War Sahag. The worst kind of Sahag. Ice 5, not doing much. This is the part about Spellcaster that I get really concerned about, because when you see like the level 5 magic, you go, oh my goodness. But it's really pales in comparison to even like an Ice 3 on vanilla.
Yeah, because, well, so the rationale, if I remember from when One Fine Day put it all together, is like, levels 1 and 2 are supposed to be single target. Levels like 3 through 5 or 6 are supposed to be the equivalent to your tier 2 spells in terms of power, and then 6 or 7 and 8 is supposed to be your high tier elemental magic.
Right. So we have a radioactive Sahag taking down Ale with nuclears. We've got Goat's Pirate coming back to Mirage 2. Show me that floater.
Oh, poor bird. He forgot he doesn't have a bridge. I think his plan was to just walk all the way back around his boat at Elfland.
His little duck looks so sad.
Instead, he has to walk. I mean, I guess at least overworld encounters are off, so...
So we're going to see Burt Reynolds with a step count of 80,000 by the end of this.
Okay, now he was parked over at the Crescent Lake River.
And Speedboat is on. We're fine.
Yeah. So Bert at this point very much wants to find the dwarf cave.
Oh, do we have a level 18 thief?
I mean, I think I think Bert never got around to checking this for lockpicking in the first place.
That's unfortunate, because at level 18, that looks like a Galaxy Brain level play.
Yeah.
I don't recall seeing the shop item yet. Have you seen that?
I have not.
So it's either at Provoca, or did anybody check the caravan?
I don't think no one's checked the caravan. I don't think anyone who has the canoe has been back down to the on-rack area. And that's going to remain the case. But Bert is...
Gonna turn in that slab.
I missed when he collected the slab, but that's okay. Because he turned
that was
it
from
in.
Titan.
Yeah, no, I know where he got it from. I just missed when he got it.
When I mused about him taking it all the way through.
Ah, you're right. I was so focused on where did he park his boat
Right.
that I didn't even think about the fact that he was also collecting an important thing.
I'm so disappointed that nobody's getting into encounters at Melmond. I was really, really hyped for that. I was hoping it wouldn't be Melmond, because you have a lot more incentive to, like, walk around Elfland or something.
I mean, is Zozo Melman considered a dungeon or an overworld?
It is considered a dungeon.
Okay.
Here we go. Finally, our caravan check. That backwards thief on Goat's Pirates screen is
And
So
there's the
bizarre.
key. For it looked like 20K.
Yes, so I did allow, let's see, where are we? I wanted to make sure that things were reasonable, and so we have a cheap vendor item between 18 and 22,000 gold.
Okay.
So,
So it looks like waterfall so far was the Caldera volcano into the nothingness floor on Kraken's side.
Dobbs, thank you so much for that raid. Party of 8, welcome to Final Fantasy Randomizer, the Iron Goal Season 3 hardcore title match. We've got ourselves quite the match tonight, actually. I think this is anybody's game, really, at this point.
I don't know. Bert
Bert has a
Bert
slight
has-
item lead.
just a slight item edge.
Ale has a significant level lead at this point. And he's about to have an orb lead if he can get through this Sahag. So with those levels, he may skip getting that key, although that's not really too far out of the way.
And Oxyale was from the Smith. Alright. Thing is, I think Bert does know where On-Rack is, so that opens up yet another location.
Oh, and Ale's finding the key now.
Yeah. He can definitely afford it.
Papa Duke's finally growing up, turning in a tail, becoming an adult. Ale not happy with this encounter rate on Sharknado.
So I'm not sure we've seen the bottom of On-Rack yet.
Hopefully one of or both Ale and Bert will show us.
Yeah.
High-fiving each other on the way.
Yeah, Ale is basically running to a box with that first set of steps, seeing what's in it, and if it's something he wants to hold on to, then he's keeping it. Otherwise, he's going to reset out.
That's an interesting... I guess he's very familiar with the hard reset encounters.
Yeah, no, I mean that grind in air or on the Bridge of Destiny, like he's probably got a pretty good sense of how far he can get off of power cycle.
Well,
Yeah.
Bridge of Destiny, unfortunately, really screws with that because they do have the increased encounter rate.
Yeah, I think it's still it's still good enough for him to be able to make judgments.
So, Ale may be our first person on stream with a floater if he can get through this room and beat, I believe it's Astaroth again.
I think you're right.
And the thing that could really blow this open is we're running out of things to turn in. Well, once we have that floater, it's just going to be turn in after turn in, which will allow us to recruit additional members. I suppose they might at this point not want to and just say, you know what, the menuing is quicker with only 2 party members, but hopefully they don't do it in service of the experience gain. Like passing up on a member, I mean.
Oh no, it was
Oh, it
Asura.
was Asura. It was the bridge.
Womp womp.
All right, so we still have a loose floater somewhere.
Yeah, so
Running out of checks here.
I think we have to go to Mirage.
Or Lefane. Have we seen Lefane yet?
I don't think anyone's checked for the Lefane River dock yet, so I think... I mean, either way, you've got to head up to that continent, up to the bird-shaped continent.
Right.
Oh, well, the other possibility, Bert has that oxyale, and OnRack is on the table.
So that could be a very differentiating factor if it winds up being behind OnRack. Because nobody else has this oxyale or anywhere really close to it. Ah, and we have our Black Wizard.
And we have a bottle for Elmarkin, so that's the prince.
And we do know where Gaia is. Elmarkin finding out that, yes, that Black Wizard has been leveling with you the whole time. No such luck on loose item in Elfland Castle, but a nice check nonetheless. Interesting. Burt Reynolds, I just noticed, named his characters Red Mage and Black Mage under the assumption that that's what he was going to be picking up.
Black Wizard spells. That was helpful. Some amount of HP gain, and I didn't see what the malice was on that Black Wizard.
I missed it myself. I have too much going on my desktop, apparently. Let's blow this open.
I missed that was the Thor hammer. There in TFC North.
The Thor hammer, though, isn't actually casting lit. I did notice one of our runners highlighted it before and hit select on it for us.
Yeah.
So Ale at this point gonna go on the hunt for the Oxyel, it looks like.
It looks like it was a strength penalty.
Oh no. Not on the wizard.
I know, I'm so reliant on the mighty thews of the Black Mage.
You know, in fairness, with Fast 8 going off and then having, if they could find Temper 8, anyone can become a swinging warrior at that point. Living out his fantasies of being a knight.
I think that might have been like a minus 10 strength malice and maybe like a plus 20 HP bonus, so that's what I'm going to write down, and
works for me.
Yeah.
I don't think that people are overly concerned with the bonus malice at this point.
Yeah.
Bert saving.
Remembering that
it is going to be an unsafe incentive, but that is correct. It will unfortunately still not be the floater.
Yeah, now, Ale, I think Bert got the key after he, no, he did check this, I think.
Ale, only looking for the fact that that might have been a loose item, doesn't care about fleshing out the party anymore. I think he is comfortable in his gear for his party members. Just looking to get into go mode.
Ah, but the fact that bottle that they got from the Elf Prince. All right.
I missed what that Corneria locked was.
Crown.
And we have seen Northwest. Oh boy, the Black Wizard has Black Wizard spells. What a bonus.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, is it's not the best bonus that he could have gotten there.
Papa Duke's getting himself a canoe. Bert getting himself an Earth Orb, but he's already got one. The Fairy showing us a Red Wizard for sale. Well, I guess not for sale. It's a freebie joining.
Plus 2 MP, minus 10 agility.
That plus 2 level 1 MP is nothing to sneeze at because I have capped all casters at 4 magic points. So if level 1 magic was worthwhile for the Red Wizard, then it might be worth picking up.
Did you catch what the Malice was?
I thought the Malice was the agility. I didn't catch the second bonus. It looked like a stat.
The agility was the second bonus. Ah well, someone else will eventually remember to, someone else will eventually have that bottle and turn it in.
Everybody does everything so quickly. But that is to be expected in a group race, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
So Bert going to show us the Oxyel. I'm not sure why he spoke to that NPC.
He wanted to kill Cope.
I am not familiar with that one. That's a thing?
I don't know how big a thing it is, but Cope or Cope is the NPC in Vanilla who hints about the robot.
I don't think I've ever spoken to NPCs in Vanilla because of Nintendo Power. Not a sponsor.
Yeah. Okay, anyone who's familiar with Final Fantasy Randomizer already knows that we don't technically support Nintendo Power. It's full of lies.
Or mistruths.
High fantasy about how Final Fantasy functions.
Well, I think they needed to get around this whole it's just Dungeons and Dragons with graphics. Which, man, the 36-year-old me finding this out was a little rough, I'm not going to lie.
I mean, there's some critical differences.
Yes, we have a Red Wizard instead of a Bard.
Well, Dungeons and Dragons, the spells actually work. Also, I'm glad I'm not the only one who realizes that the Red Mage is just a first edition Bard.
Okay, so we've got some new stuff going on Burt Reynolds' side.
Yeah, he is looting Sky 3, which is...
It's a something to do, but I don't know that he's going to really be needing gear either. He's going to be looking for that last loose. But I think once you step into the room, you walk out.
I mean, the good news is he's not... Even if he doesn't need gear, he's certainly not getting it from this Sky 3. I think almost all these chests have been money.
So, Ale Market in a really good spot here. I know Burt Reynolds has the item lead at the moment. But full party, confident in his equipment.
This is on rack, I think. Okay, yeah, this is under on rack. Sorry. Didn't mean to cut you off.
Yes, Sky 3 is the on-rack dungeon.
Yeah.
I thought you meant under on-rack at the map, but that was the Mirage 2 into the Elf Castle.
Yeah, it's...
Okay, so Sky 3, womp womp. No progression here, but a very quick check to the next floor. Sky 1, because why not? Let's just invert the floating castle.
We're just gonna keep going with the Castlevania references tonight, aren't we?
Is the floating castle what they name it there?
Well, I'm talking about the inverted castle part.
You know, the Castlevania anime, I really enjoyed that. I don't know how true to form it was, but I really enjoyed it.
I have heard a lot of good things about it. I also don't have Netflix, so I haven't had a chance to check it out.
For something like $9.99 a month, you can get it for one. You binge all your shows. Netflix, not a sponsor, by the way. But could be. You want to be a sponsor? No, we're not looking for sponsors.
Bert's found a second ribbon. So.
And again, not the incentivized one. So there will be a third one coming to Bert.
Maybe.
I'm still a little shocked that we have not found the loot yet. Usually they like to throw it in the way of things. Final Fantasy Randomizer anime when? Maybe when our devs give us an appropriate tool for it. That'd be great.
So, I'm just going to point this out. This on-rack is under the C-split in Northwest Castle, and Bert is now several floors deep under the on-rack. I don't believe we've seen the marsh split yet.
No, we have not seen marsh split or marsh bottom. And we're at marsh top.
For a brief moment when I saw that tile set, I got really excited. And then I realized it was not the marsh split.
I imagine at this point, and this is why I didn't think it was such a crazy troll, that any of our runners encountering marsh bottom are going to be checking key lock.
Yeah. Alright, I think Goat's Pirate did get his hands on an herb, so I'm gonna go ahead and mark it. Wait, he already had the herb. Okay, Elmarkin got the sage item at least. And that was the adamant. Alright.
I imagine, did Goat's Pirate turn in the slab yet?
I don't think so, because, like, we know where Melmond... He might be going to turn it in now since he's back in the Canaria area.
Right. Maybe forgetting it's still in the inventory?
He may have already done it. Like, I am not doing a great job of tracking because I keep getting distracted talking to you about things.
That's wonderful. That's why I invited you in here.
Because you wanted to ruin the presentation.
The presentation speaks for itself. Anybody that's going to be following along at home has their little scratch cards that they can fill out. Alright, so Burt Reynolds finding that On-Rack Dungeon is not actually going to offer much in the way of progression. Have we seen Mirage Tower yet?
I don't think anyone's actually gone in there yet.
Now we're checking Creek inside.
Ducks picked up a crown. Then I think that was the incentive ribbon there with Astos.
This Mirage 2 is getting everybody in the same trap, and I hate this floor. Because every time we do that, just overstepping to the north. Elmarkin getting that Oxyale, not really gonna turn into much. Or actually, that was the C-split, right? So there's a potential that we find something on the left-hand side.
Dwarf Cave was... Oh, the other side of the C-split is just on-rack. No, wait.
No, on-rack was before the C-split.
Okay. Ale is nowhere near the okay.
No, Ale is not. I think Bert was in
the two sides of the C-split are on-rack and Northwest Castle.
Oh, right, and then on-rack led to the sky.
Wait. I'm lost now. I have successfully confused myself.
Well, hopefully these runners have a decent notepad themselves. When I'm tracking for myself, I can do this.
the runners know where they're going, that's good enough for me. But Bert is going to have 3 ribbons.
And I imagine picking up this white mage.
Yeah, especially with Spellcrafter on. As much as it pains me to say it, I feel like grabbing the white wizard is the better play.
So, again, red wizard, especially with Spellcrafter. So, even without Spellcrafter, I would... on a floor entrance, I tend to take the white wizard, although this late into it might be a moot point. But Spellcrafter really limits the red caster.
Yeah. That's kind of my my thinking as well.
I think there's something like 12 spells.
Waterfall. So, as far as locations go, we haven't found Marsh Bottom yet, we haven't found Matoya, we haven't found Carrie's floor, and we haven't found Kraken's floor.
It looks like Al Markin is going to be taking us over to at least Lefane. Probably going to walk up to Gaia and find out he can't. I love it. It's those little things, right? Like, a troll shouldn't take more than 5 seconds. So,
I mean, I'm just gonna point out that Goat's pirate stood there for a long time, just staring off into...
a bridge?
Yeah, he found the bridge and just kind of looked at the screen accusingly. So, we are an hour and 15 minutes into this and have successfully lit one orb on 3 runner screens.
Right, but with the understanding, of course, that once we get this floater, Arcadia Island checks and Gaia check, that's going to be our next 2 or 3 fiends. 2 fiends, right? We know where Tiamat is. So that's going to be our next 2 fiends instantly, and then we just need a loot. So it will come together quite quickly. I'm going to venture the guess that we have... the floater's going to be in Armory, or... we haven't seen that, right? I don't recall encountering the Volcano Armory.
Floor, no.
So it's probably Armory or Marsh Bottom, in addition to the Marsh incentive.
Well, I think at this point, because what was that, Lefane?
Al Markin is showing us that now.
Okay.
Earth 2, it looks like.
Because, yeah, if there's not, well, Provoka could be down here still. Because, yeah, there's... Matoya is still out there, as far as NPCs go. Matoya's Cave is still out there. Big A's still out there. Oh, hi, mermaids.
There's a good chest density here. Let's hope for our loose item. This is a very confusing floor in horizontal flip as well. That looked like some decent gear.
Yeah. But Ale at this point is just trying to spot the marked chest. I guess that was nice of you to turn on the mark trap chests.
Yeah, I didn't want any unnecessary... Like, I'm not trying to be mean about it. I was just trying to be slightly difficult. And I wanted everything to... And I hope I succeeded in feeling like you have no idea what's going on, but you're able to puzzle it out. That okay, this just means that it's incentivized and it's going to be guarded by a fiend. And so I'm going to want to find these chests that have these X's on it, because that means that I'm going to progress somehow. Not have to, like, worry about, oh my god, there's 40, 80 chests in the game, random encounters already. Okay. So, yeah, I wanted them to feel like it was more of a puzzle that they could solve, as opposed to a wall that they were crashing into constantly.
I'm just going to correct your semantics a little bit. I would argue you are being mean, you're just not being tedious about it.
I'll accept it, but I might refute that later. Because I have had much meaner ideas. Which I suppose doesn't disqualify me from being currently mean, but it's certainly not as mean as I was originally intending. Alright, finally we get to see what Mirage offers.
If you don't kick the puppy, but you still steal a child's candy, like, you're still evil. Okay, someone has been to,
Mirage, because we have seen Agamothlor.
Yeah. I have no recollection of what's down here, though. Absolutely none.
So Bert going back to... Oh, he is taking the wormhole. Curious what Ale was looking to find in the trap tile. Because with these... the Randomizer on, it's very difficult to, like, parse where the extra experience is coming in.
Bert may have just not remembered where, or he may not have ever seen that exit. So, that may just have been Bert not recollecting something. Also, I do appreciate the fact that Bert, also likes to use the devout skin for the White Wizard.
Yes, it is a very cute skin, for lack of a better term. I don't believe that we've seen... Adorable. I don't think we've seen past the Hall of Dragons. I think somebody got bounced out by it, and that's why we haven't recalled that we were in Mirage.
Okay. Well, it's gotta be something.
I know that, yeah, so pointing out in chat that Ale is looking for the trap chests. Yes, I understand that Ale was looking at trap chests based on his previous behavior. My question was around the fact that he intentionally stepped on a trap tile after seeing that the chest wasn't trapped. It's kind of almost like out of habit, maybe finding the eye tile, but with Randomizer on, it's very difficult to parse which enemy you actually want to encounter there. And just for the record, these all these parties are about the level where they could confidently complete this game.
There's the armor you were looking for.
Good. Wonderful.
And time elementals.
Yeah, so I'm really happy that we don't have to just check all the chests, right? You're just looking at them. This is potentially a huge find for Ale. Ah, there it is. We have ourselves a floater. Oh, what happened to the music there? That was weird, but I'll take it.
Floater could still be at the bottom of this dungeon. We don't know what's below this floor.
However, it is a loose item, and we've seen the other two looses. I did not incentivize Volcano.
Ah, fair enough. We still haven't seen that fourth fiend. Technically, we haven't even seen the third fiend. You just saw one of the bats talking about it.
This feels like Astaroth is just kind of trying to take over the show. So, Bert attempting to get past that War Sahag this time. Nuclear's going to come out. Hurt most of the party, I think. The White Wizard with Wall 8. Not really necessary for Bert's party with the 3 ribbons. So Ale's got to be feeling good about this. Although at 80 minutes, he's probably feeling like he's way behind, but knowing that nobody else has been down here.
Oh, that does have to be a complicated calculus, because we have had access to this literally from, like, 5 minutes into the seed.
Right. Oh, that feels real bad. And there were a couple of runners who bounced out of the Hall of Dragons there.
Yeah, I think the Hall of Dragons that he had to go through is the only thing that might keep Ale from thinking, I am way behind now.
And the fact that it's guarded by Astaroth, which was notoriously difficult throughout most of the seed.
Yeah. So, like, I imagine, like, yeah, you'd have to be 30 or 40 minutes in before this was really on the table. Because you'd need the levels to make the runs pretty much guaranteed. And to stave off, like, ambushes and such.
So, Tetron, maybe work on that. So Randomizer recognizes the Hall of Dragons and still replaces it with other dragons. It feels real bad that it's the Hall of Tigers and Knights.
At least throw some bears in there or something.
We'll just replace one of the Ankylo sprites with a bear. Oof. These nymphs with the Quake 6. It looks like Bert was able to take down the War Sahag, but going out to save because it was not an easy time.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
And Ale, first on stream at 82 minutes and 36 seconds with a floater turning into an airship. Finally get to explore some of Cardia. I think the seed is going to collapse very quickly. We're going to get Kraken, we're going to get Carry. He'll be able to take that War Sahag down.
I believe that was the loot out of Lefane.
Then we have all the pieces to our puzzle. Oh, no, we are missing a rod. I suppose that there is something that could be rod locked. Hopefully it's like the power gauntlet. Oh no, we've seen a power gauntlet as a turn-in. I think it was labeled as a saber gauntlet.
Honestly, I think... So, looking at everything, I think at this point, we are probably looking at a shallow Matoya with the rod, and the rod blocking one of our two feeds. We could also have a shallow... pirates fight with the rod, I guess. Ah, hey, there's a Barbaccio. So that was the Tiamat.
That is our Fiend of Wind.
Appropriate.
Not looking explicitly like our Final Fantasy IV version. Ooh, kill 8. Taking out the party because ribbons don't matter. Kill 8 just goes through any defenses. And with the 900 health threshold, it's guaranteed to hit the party, pretty much. I mean, you get a level 40 master or this ninja with the vitality, perhaps. But kill 8 coming out is going to take down the party.
Assume that Ale turned in his slab.
I think at least for, in Bert's case, having seen Kill 8 kind of penetrate the pro rings and the ribbons at this point, he's got to be thinking that wasn't just luck. So, maybe considering what that power word threshold is. The H-Trolls being extra trolly on Papa Duke's side, casting heal and wasting time. Gonna try to break Barbaricia before she has a chance to do kill 8 things.
There's some pretty decent melee damage going out. Luckily, looks like right now she's dipping into her skill list more, so that's buying time.
That Temper 7 would be doing quite a bit of work for him.
He did cast it on the ninja, I thought.
And there should be, I believe he has a lock axe somewhere. I'm not familiar with what the resistances for the alternate fiends are, because we all know that Tia likes to go down to Bane and break sometimes. I'm not sure that Barbariccia is actually... yeah.
So he's just going with the highest potential, but he gets it down.
So we've got an air orb lit for Bert. He actually did not take down Lich yet. I believe we assumed he did. It looked like that orb was not lit.
Pretty sure he did.
Oh, he's bound to hit start in a moment. Or not?
He eventually will.
Yeah, but I don't want to be glued to his screen. We've got 3 other great runners on screen. Ale finding out that the sky is under the sea.
You watch everyone else, and I'll wait for it.
Oh, yep, nope, you're right.
Yeah, he's got 2.
He's got it.
Yeah, no, it's easy to get mixed up on that, because, like, the orbs
are not in the order that we'd expect.
They were.
Yeah. So I looked in the upper left when I made that comment, and now I just looked in the lower left. I was like, yes, of course. Because
actually,
why not?
There's the lower right one.
What? Even worse.
Yeah. No, it is the height of absurdity.
Like, I could understand if maybe they placed it based on where it was in the world, but that's flipped. Everything's flipped.
I don't know, Shum. I've never understood it. I just know, like, that you just kind of have to take it as a whole and trust your instincts on which orbs are lit.
Alright, well, we've got ourselves a TNT on Papa Dukes.
Yep.
And we've got Goat's Pirate attempting to get his TNT. Papa Dukes is still on the throne for us.
Yeah, he and Goat's Pirates have been pausing to take notes from the looks of things, so...
Oh, I thought they were just posing.
Bert? Yeah, go back in there. You forgot to check for the loose item.
There we go.
Yeah, no, he saw that dead end reset out and then started to walk away, and it clicked in his head. Wait. I've been everywhere else. My last item is down here.
It's such a nauseating feeling to get to that point where you're like, it must be down here, and then if you don't stumble into that chest, you go full on panic. But fortunately, Bert will be rewarded for coming back.
Yeah.
I feel bad for our other runners that have also bounced out of the Hall of Dragons early and did not consider going back there yet. And I understand it completely. Like, there's no incentive to... Well, I guess there is an incentive to do so, but it doesn't seem like there's going to be an incentive to do so when you have so many other things available to you.
No, like, this is one of those, to borrow a term from other randomizers, or other randomizer communities, it is a right play, but not the correct play.
Right.
Like, the time you would spend trying to bull your way through that Hall of Dragons, you can be spending checking other things and gaining the strength needed to force your way through the Hall of Dragons.
Right. That's a lesson I unfortunately learned over many years of playing poker. Sometimes the right thing isn't always rewarded, but... Here, we have Burt Reynolds recognizing fully, like, this is going to be where he needs to go to finish this game. 2 Astaroths on screen. Not being well-versed in ancient Mesopotamian culture, I don't know how to pluralize that. So I will go Astaroth.
Well, Astaroth is,
I didn't mean to break you on this.
No. I can't remember what the source language is for that, because I don't think it's Latin. It may just straight up be, like, Middle English.
Interesting.
But anyway.
All right, chat, get on that. What is the etymology of Astaroth? All right, so Bert's coming in with his 92-minute floater, it looks like. Oh, gonna check out Gaia, find out he can't. And then go down to Lefane. that might be my favorite troll right now.
I personally, I think my favorite troll when runners can't see the flags, honestly and truly, is turning off Pillar Shuffle.
Ooh, I could not tell you what the vanilla pillars are.
Always go down.
It's just bottom, 3 bottom?
Yeah, it's bottom, and then I believe it is you go straight down when you get to the 4-pillar room.
Right.
Yeah. So it's just always go down.
So Ale is currently looking for loose items, it appears. But I can't separate rod or loot from the typical progression quest items, I don't believe. So those won't be loose.
Loot we know. Like,
right, but he doesn't.
Loot.
I'm saying Ale has seen now 3 loose items, so that is the total amount. There were actually 2 loose, but the bridge doesn't count.
Did you actually tell them there were only 2 loose items?
No, of course not. That would be absurd.
Then he's looking. He doesn't know that you didn't put 3 loose items out there.
I understand that, but what item left in his pool is capable of being separated? Do you know what I'm saying? I think everything else falls under the category of fetch quests, NPCs, and...
Well, okay, here's the thing. He doesn't know how many non-key items you incentivized.
Right, Astaroth is definitely Hebrew. Of course I knew that. And Astaroth, plural. Okay. Thank you, Sunbro.
Yeah, thank you. Alright, so now that I'm thinking about it, alright. I can see why he's still looking for loose items, because he doesn't know how many equipment items you incentivized.
Right. I suppose that could be a thing.
Yeah, so it's one of those things. He knows that he still has Matoya and BK outstanding as far as NPCs go, but he doesn't know if they're just going to hand over a Vorpal and a white shirt.
Right, and for the record, they probably will. I think it's going to be a defense and an opal, though, or something like that.
Yeah, but either way, and I mean, yeah, Bert's doing the same thing. He doesn't know when he needs to stop checking for loose items until he has go mode. Item-wise, which...
I mean, short of the rod, he does.
Yeah.
So, I would be looking for Kraken and Carry here. We haven't seen all of Cardia Isles, have we?
No, neither he nor Ale... Okay, so Ale never picked up the slab until now. Okay, that's fine. But, I mean, here's the thing. I believe at this point, the way things have to shake out, there's a good chance that one of the 2 fiends is behind that rod block. It's not going to be the Kraken replacement.
I mean, it could very well be Provoca behind the rod, right? And we can altogether skip it. I think actually we're at a point where it might be more likely that it isn't the fiend at this point, having seen Kraken now.
Well, yeah, now it is. I think it was I did forget to account for Provoca, so I think it was a 50-50 before Bert found the Kraken floor.
Now, is Kraken going to be Astaroth? because of the multi-hits. Or are we going to finally see our fourth fiend?
There's only one way to find out.
Gee willikers, look at all those ribbons. These are some prettied up characters. Oh, is that our marsh split?
It is our marsh split.
I miss it.
I assume it is somewhere. It's somewhere in Cardia, because where else could it be?
Right. Ah, the Black Knight.
Alright.
Alright, so if we find ourselves a carry, we're done on Burt Reynolds' side. He should find the refights and Chaos Floor is not going to be too crazy.
Ah, there's Matoya.
And there's that Opal I was talking about.
Yeah, Opal -2, still worth picking up. Or is that a +2?
That is a minus.
Okay. And we found another pro cape in the process. That's always nice.
I think our runners might actually be disappointed at how straightforward Toph winds up being. So Burt Reynolds with his water orb.
I'm going to go out on a limb. No. No, they're not going to be disappointed.
Elmarkin with our Marsh Bottom. We can finally check this incentive. Assuming he goes down to the keys.
He'll probably, unless something in here murders him.
Here we go. Our fire floor. Burt Reynolds is in go mode.
Which Cardia was that?
That was grass. Oh, you could see his menuing just picked up when he realized he's endgaming right now.
Alright, the defense sword, it looks like, is our incentive item.
Rolled up really well, but unfortunately nobody to equip it. Or nobody worth equipping it on. As I mentioned earlier, there is that bonus Send Masamune Home, and I did not guard it with a War Mech, so these runners will have a guaranteed item, as long as they recognize that it's not obfuscated by the... Well, I mean, it is obfuscated by the spell name, so as long as they recognize that the spell item they grab is actually Masamune, they can end this game. Looks like Burt Reynolds is priming to do just that, maybe getting some heal pots.
Yeah. Heading back up to Cardia since he knows that that is... Okay, I have no idea where he's going. That must be some level 6 spell he wants.
I
have no idea what Bert's doing.
Lock, I could imagine, but this seems almost like a panic check. Yeah, there's the heal pot check.
Okay, so Marsh for there's Provoca. Taurus, Matoya was Cardia Swamp, and Provoca was Cardia Small. Shoot!
Bless you.
Thank you.
All right. We've got... Oh, I think Burt missed it. It was a Cure 1 -2, but that was our Masamune. So that is the only thing I could see still going wrong, is if you don't recognize that that's what that actually is, although the Avox 7 axe might get him through here. Doing our last minute checks, recognizing that in a short Topher, you don't really need to worry about resource management, you just need to worry about placement of items.
Okay, I missed when Papa Ducks got his airship, but I've corrected that now.
Alright, looks like Bert hitting our Kraken replacement first. The War Sahag taking out Goat's Pirate. Not a very pleasant Sahag, this one. Not that anyone ever is.
Well, Ale's about to go down a rabbit hole. Today, because the pirate had our rod.
Yes. So I'm trying to recall what was the major thing that Bert got that Ale doesn't have that directed him in towards these others.
I think it's just an order of operations thing. Oh, he's also still looking for the loot.
Right. Kiadamoon, no, Bert does not have the rod, does not need the rod. With the floor entrance shuffle, Bert was able to find all 4 fiends without having to go through the rod plate.
Yeah, okay, so I think the way that this is shaken out, okay, so I think what happened was Ale went kind of east to west through the Cardia Islands, and Bert went west to east. So he found the fiends before he found anything else.
That would do it.
Well, he went to Gaia and then he went to Cardia Grass, and so that put him in go mode. Whereas Ale, it looks like, is going from the Ordeal's end over toward Grass, so...
It seems I have unfortunately gotten into Ale's head a little too deeply with these loose items.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that is kind of the hazard.
Alright, so we've got a Black Knight Asura on one side. We've got Astaroth Barbarizia on the other.
Yeah, I have a feeling that Bert's gonna keep going left however many times he has to fight this chaos
Yeah,
fight.
that Black Knight wasn't too crazy, and Asura being the Lich replacement kind of suggests that we should be maybe on it a little bit.
I mean, if nothing else, this side doesn't feature Kill 8 and Stone Poison.
Right. No encounters on the Chaos floor. Must have been a nice part of the encounter table.
That was not by design, I take it.
No, I was hoping that there would be something. So it is a Chaos, as I mentioned before. I had Kraken and friends all set up for it, and then somehow in my flags I accidentally toggled it back to just Chaos, and this is what we get.
So anyway, he punches the Black Mage so hard that all that's left is a hat.
It's unfortunate, but you know, he's got 2,000 years to work out. It's fine.
You know, it's stuff like this that makes people just hate Chaos. To want to kill him.
You know, I don't remember ever really having that much difficulty with Chaos in vanilla. And yet in Randomizer, it is easily a scary end boss.
So what you're saying is, you know, you don't have a want, I don't remember the stupid trailer well enough to make the meme jokes right now. Anyway.
Well, I don't know which one you're referring to, so I'll move on. We have a Barbarizia on Goat's Pirate. Kill 8 doing Kill 8 things. This is not going to be a very friendly Chaos. That is unfortunate. I mean, not that you want a friendly Chaos, but Specifically one that casts Kill at you, not great. Although also casting Warp.
Yeah, that was nice, but ooh.
That looked like the same value, 443 both times.
That had to be a crit, because there were at least 2 layers of ruse on that ninja.
So, I mean, at this point also I would... Well, no, I guess with the Kill 8s in the pool, you don't really have time to Fog up, but Fog 6 and Fog 8 at that level really does a lot of work. And we see Bert opting for the Astaroth and the... who was the other one? Barbarizia.
Barbarizia, yeah. An interesting decision. We'll see how it shakes out.
It looks like a 6 and 1/2 dozen of the other type of thing. Although Astaroth 2, very low health pool.
That may be what he's banking on. Oh yeah, I guess with the Fiend refights, they don't have the same horrifying skills. I didn't even think about that.
Nope, but Astaroth did have Crack, so we'll see what Barb has for us. Stop 5. So we have Barbs on 2 screens, although Bert's version was decidedly harder.
I think he's still going to favor the left side. Never mind.
Interesting. I'm curious what that was about. Wonder if that was a slip. Or the life caster died. Wall 5,
life
sure.
caster death.
Papa's going to find that defense +3. Might actually... Who can equip it? Fighter, Thief, Red Mage. So, yeah, that ninja might actually want that defense.
Yeah. I don't know why Bert is continuing to come down this side. Like, the left side seemed simple enough. I guess, well, the Black Knight did have kind of beefy HP from the looks of it, so that might be Bert's justification, is it's faster to kill this to kill these two.
But that's only if it doesn't kill you first, which it seems to be doing a lot.
Yeah, I'm noticing that.
So again, we have 2 Astaroth on screen. Throwing out an Ink, not too bad. Fade 6, going to take it out with 70-something damage. Deja Vu, and this life 5 into healing up after the Fiend. Elmarkin lighting up an orb.
He's just got to get over to Gaia, but I suspect he's going to go check that rod block first.
I think he probably doesn't even realize that he hadn't checked Gaia yet, because he did go up to the Lefane River. So he might have it in his head that he did that kind of check already.
Well, hopefully finding Bupkis down here will jog his memory. I'm not sure what can be down here at this point. Yeah, I guess it must be one. It might be one of the treasure rooms in
Cardia?
Yeah. Like, I think that's literally all that's left. Like, the double-wide treasure room, I think, is the only
map we haven't seen.
Point we haven't seen, yeah.
That'll be a real feels bad moment.
Yep.
And of course he's looted it all because it's all linked to the Dragon's Horde behind Bahamut. So he's thinking he's going to get into a fight, but it's already empty.
Poor Ale.
I just saw him break in that moment. There you go. Go up, up, up. You got this. Alright. This Barbarizia is no joke.
Yeah, I suspect that if Bert resets again, he's just gonna go left.
Yeah, I would hope so. It's almost like he's trying to throw at this point. Come on, Bert, don't do it. You want to be champ. Ooh, I missed that there was a neck 8 hammer for sale. That seems pretty good for sweeping. Because it was at Provoca. So, not finding it until much later than it's actually necessary.
I mean, Bert may just not want to unify the titles.
Alright. Chaos attempt number 2. Let's get the buffs up and start punching them down. There you go. Hurt being a nothing spell. Fast going off, entire party is going to be swinging like crazy. Yeah, Saber
Timbers and
Gauntlets.
Ruses going up.
It's really, kill 8 is the only thing that's going to be taking down this party at this point. As I say before, like, I don't know, Nuke 8 comes out. Oh, yikes.
Yeah, as of this point, no one has finished, and Ale and Bert are both in prime position to take this.
Alright, 3 hits, 3 damage. Lock 2 comes out. Easy to hit. That's great. So is the Black Mage. Lock 6 comes out. Easier to hit. Saber goes out. He's going to need to start swinging on Tank because those kills are going to come out and this party's down. Flash, still looking at the skill list. Tank, 6 hits, 890 damage. 12 hits, 75 damage. Chaos is not going to scale too high. 1 or 2 more of those hits should do it for Bert. 6 hits, 912. Punch, 12 hits, 80. 6 hits, 1170. Still not terminated. Fade comes out for 50. 12 hits, 12 damage, not looking great. Fade, 70 damage. 6 hits, 604. There's the kill 8. We're back on that part of the spell list. This is dangerous. And we have a terminated with a race time GG official time of 1:53:51. Burt Reynolds is our new Iron Goal Season 3 title holder. So congratulations.
Yeah, I believe that this is a belt unification. For now.
For now. Always a chance to take down Burt in the number 1 spot, but Ailmarkin has been knocked out of his top spot today, as he is going back to he has his loot, right? So he's going to be going to the Temple of Fiends right now.
And
so let's see.
as Bert is one of our newly elected admins, he can just barge on in here whenever he's ready.
Just checking to see if he can do an interview at this point.
Alrighty.
Meanwhile, we have Ale going down the right side again.
In stereo vision.
Yes, apparently VLC decided to pull up that stream immediately as soon as Bert's finished.
It's finicky like that.
I'm just shocked that it worked so nicely.
Viewers are at this time invited to put their VR headsets on and appreciate Ailmarkin's battle against the forces of chaos in stereo vision.
Alright, so that Black Knight goes down, but we know... Oh no, this is the right side, right? We want to be on this side. Or sorry, the left side, which is the correct side.
Yeah.
The nicer one.
Yeah, It says something that the fact that Asura 2 leads off with nuclear makes this the nicer side.
Yeah, Asura going down in 2 turns, though. I don't see it getting anything else crazy off. Yeah, that was about 900 health. Haha, Ale. There are encounters on this floor, and now you lost your Black Wizard. Why aren't you healing? There we go.
It's called spell conservation.
There's like 10 steps. Alright, let's see. We have 1 fewer target to get through this this kill 8 nonsense. Alright, we got more locks going out, more locks going out. Swing 8 hits, 166, not really going to do it. Need to buff up, either using that Saber Gauntlet or getting Temper on that Black Wizard on the next dive. Because we know Chaos is quite chunky. And we know this because Burt Reynolds just took him down. Congratulations, Burt, joining us in the booth now. Our number 1 in Iron Gold Season 3 right now. How you feeling?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, thanks, guys. So yeah, I'm the champion now.
Yes, you are.
Not the number 1 contender.
Ah.
The actual champion.
My apologies.
I believe that the correct title for you is Burt 2 Belts.
That's right. I think I got both of them. This is the 3rd time someone has had both belts, although this one I don't think really counts because it was 1 race. Maybe if I defend it next week, it'll count.
So, a couple of questions, actually. One, I guess I'll work backwards. Why did you decide to go down the right side of Chaos Floor over and over? It looked like the left side was treating you a little bit better.
I went through the left side pretty easy. I wanted to see how difficult the right side was, and I sort of got tunnel visioned at the end there. I should have realized that it was way harder, but it hadn't really gone through my mind yet. I mean, this was 2 hours of chaos.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, that's what we signed up for. Don't worry.
Well, okay. Then my second question is: did you have fun?
Oh yeah, that was great. There was
Okay.
it was I think it was a well-crafted flags because there was a lot of little tricks in there. Like it looked like a floaterless flag set, except for a couple little hints, like the no Gaia mount path. I found that after I'd found the floater. But if I had, like, I actually maybe an hour in just decided that it was going to be floaterless flag, so just don't even bother looking for the floater. Like, you might have noticed that I went into Volcano and exited out and then realized, actually, wait, I got to go back into Volcano just in case the floater's in there.
Yes, that was going to be Woke's next question.
So it was sort of at that moment I realized that I should probably look for the floater. And I think it worked out really well for me.
Yes, it did.
Even if I did last location the floater.
I mean, almost everyone did. it was so back and forth, and it's unfortunate because the floater was really so early in this seed. You could have had it at about 10 minutes if you get through the Hall of Dragons, but everybody bounced out of that before they had a chance to see that the armory was behind it. And then even if they got through to it, it would have been an Astaroth, which was not very kind early on.
Okay, so some players did go to Mirage early.
Yeah, and bounced out almost immediately.
Okay, then I got lucky with my, random routing decisions there.
Yes, I believe Chime was one of the first items that you all found, yeah? I think Sarah had it, yeah.
And Cube was early as well.
Yeah, but this was...
I guess Cube doesn't matter because it's entrance floor shuffle, never mind.
This was a very, very close match. Ale was leading for the most part on levels, but you definitely had the item advantage. You kind of dug out a lot of early weapon magic that some of the other runners didn't have, although Ale, I think, had a stronger physical weapon that he was swinging for quite some time. But it was looking like anybody's game up until you got the floater, and then you sort of tore ahead a bit.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah. What were you swinging at the end? It was one of the axes, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a bad axe. I don't know. It had 50 attack power. That's all I cared about.
Is there any reason why you passed up on the Masamune?
I never saw it or found it, unless I did find it and just it was a caster item and.
That would be it. There was one in Temple of Fiends. I placed it there to send it home. It was the Cure 1. I think you looked at it and then walked away from it, and I was like, I bet you didn't see the stats.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm not used to playing with chest stats yet, so I definitely don't have my visual parsing of all the information when it comes out.
Right. With the with Weaponizer active, I felt like that was kind of a necessary thing because there's no way anybody knows what any of this does.
Oh yeah, that's the kind of flag that's going to be on forever, I think.
Yeah, I'm loving it. How did you feel about Spellcrafter on this one?
I'm 50-50 on Spellcrafter. I think there's definitely some good parts to it. It feels fun, but there's a lot of how would I say? Like it feels more like a curated spell list than a randomized spell list, for my taste.
Okay, I see that. I believe that's because it was a curated spell list.
Yeah, it exactly was. Maybe not the best for a randomizer. Although I'm sure randomized spells would be also a nightmare.
I'm sure our dev team, looking into it now, will come up with some solution. Whether it's a better one remains to be seen. But I'm looking very forward to their solutions because so much of the dev stuff recently has been really forward moving for the rando.
Okay, so now I have one question for you. A flag that I was very concerned about at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Was the power word threshold set to unlimited?
It was not unlimited, but it was 900.
Oh, okay, that's very good. That's what I thought. When Tia 1 kill aided one of my characters, I realized that if that was unlimited, I was going to lose the race because I never marked down where it was. I never bought kill aid. And if it was unlimited, you kill everything in the game with it.
Right.
So I had to gamble that it was set to 600 or 900, and then I wouldn't ever go and look for it.
Yeah,
that was just a gamble that I was willing to take.
And as soon as it hit you, I did mention to Wout, I said, I think Bert just realized that this is getting through 3 ribbons and pro rings, and having a moment.
400, 500 hit points.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Quite all right. So again, we're on Chaos on Ilmarkin's side. This time with a full party. Yeah, this Chaos was not very nice once it started getting into the kills.
I mean, with the nuns gain experience and the dead gain experience, you're never going to have a character that has enough hit points to resist that. Right, the thief with his bonuses had like a ton of hit points, but you'd be looking at like 40 before you could, maybe 40 or 42 or something before you could avoid a kill 8.
Right.
It's never going to happen with these settings.
So I did put up a bunch of XP scaling on the orbs. It's not quite as high as it is in the co-op tournament, but 50% per orb. So if you did find an encounter that you wanted, it wasn't outrageous to grind up. And the master was kind of there to serve as your tank if that was one of the options that you wanted to do. But I'm glad that most people decided that the ninja was going to be the carry here. That was the intent.
Yeah, I decided that early on when I did the early promotion.
Which was hilarious, by the way, the tail being right there.
I'm betting all my chips on ninja carry endgame. It worked out.
So Elmarkin, with a race time GG time of 2:05:01, is in second place for tonight's match. Does he actually return to first place contender at this point, or is he knocked down further in the list?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Yeah, we'll check in on that. But let's see if we can get Ale in here. And I did want to ask you a question about the promotion, actually, because you grabbed the tail and turned to Bahamut and you were like, I'm going to promote. And then it looked like you thought to yourself, wait a second, I might fight him. And then you got halfway back and then turned around and turned it in anyway.
What I actually did when I turned around, right before I turned around, I looked at that screen to see what black belt scaling was. or black belt MDEF scaling.
Mm.
Because if it was inverted MDEF, then I'd promote right away. But I saw that it looked like vanilla MDEF. So I decided that, okay, well, I'll come back once I get some more levels. And then I thought to myself, actually, nuns and deads are gaining EXP, so I'm never going to level this black belt. So then I turned around.
Mm.
So a couple different thoughts in a row.
So the master actually has the +4 MDEF per level.
So it was inverted?
It was fixed, I guess.
+3 +4.
Yeah, +3 +4.
Okay, if I'd done the math, if I'd done, like, bring out a calculator and done the math, I could have figured that out, but I didn't see that at a glance.
No, so
I got lucky on that front, too.
yeah, if you play back the VOD, I did do a brief, like, run over of the flags, but if you want the actual flag strings, I can send that out in the Iron Goal channel after.
Yeah, you might as well post them. That'd be fun, thank you.
Yep, no problem. All right, and we are now joined with our second on-stream finisher and former title holder, Ailmarkin.
Hey, how's it going?
Good game. How are you feeling about that?
It was overall a lot of fun. I mean, it's my brain's kind of turned to mush over the past 2 hours, so I can't really say like specifics for like things that woulda, coulda, shoulda. But I think it was a good bit of fun. Not gonna lie.
Oh, well, I'm glad you had at least a bit of fun. Yeah, I don't know that I have anything specifically to ask you about. There were a couple of times where it's like, oh no, Ale, just go this way. You were kind of baited by a couple of the items that you wound up getting that Bert actually didn't get, like the rod. Kind of dragged you away from Cardia into, I think it was back to Sarda's cave or something. Fortunately, you found the dead end almost immediately, but it's like little things. Your items just diverged a little bit, and it sort of took you apart, but it was a very close match most of the way.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it's like I hit up the new Lefane dock earlier in the run, I guess I should say. And I kind of pigeonholed Gaia for a little while, so I was thinking, okay, I've clearly got to find the rod to go and find Kraken. And I'm sitting there like looking at the tracker as I'm going on the vampire front, like, huh, I never checked the Gaia spot. I bet that's not gonna come back and bite me in the butt. And then lo and behold, there's a dead end, and I'm like, I probably should have gone to the Gaia spot.
Well, it did ultimately work out, as you are our second place runner for the evening. Do you have any questions for me? I know Bert came in with one or two.
No, I mean, for blind flags, I thought it was a lot of fun. You had that moment of realization about like 35, 40 minutes in where it's like, oh, all the loose key items are in trap chests. Great. So I can, kind of like read things, and then we can look for the trap chest with the little X marks, and we can kill some fiends and get some items and move on with our day. And I mean, I thought that was pretty genius. It's been a lot of fun, not gonna lie.
Oh, thank you. That was something I pointed out to Boat. I was hoping that you would all feel that it was more of a puzzle instead of just trolly behavior constantly bombarding you. Although, I'm not going to lie that the turning off the Gaia Mountain Pass was a lot of fun. Watching it.
That was actually genius. Because it let people know that the floater exists.
Yes.
Right, because a lot of it, just by accident, looked like a floaterless seed. But if you were keen enough to see that, you'd know that the floater was in the race.
Oh, I'm so glad people are seeing things. I'm looking forward actually to crafting a lot more of these, because I had a lot of fun doing this, and I'm glad that you guys had fun running it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad to see the this caliber of flags for the first blind flag set. So I look forward to seeing what else you can come up with in the future, not only for Iron Gall, but for our challenge seas, however often you and Mad Martin decide to make those happen. But I mean, I did want to point out, I think my favorite moment of irony in this race was like, oh, Bahamut's here in Melman. I guess I'll just go and see if his boxes are worth anything good. And that's where we saw the X and was like, oh, okay, there's something going on here. I did enjoy the moment that the tail came out of the box right next to him, then you could just turn it in and promote right away.
Yeah, I don't think I could have planned that any better. But I'm glad it didn't bite you guys that Marsh Locked was one of the incentives. I saw that
What?
Marsh Locked was an incentive. It had the defense sword, which Ale turned down, it seemed.
Yeah, I think it was like the defense +6, but I was like, I think we've got Weaponizer on, so I'm not really sure if this even casts ruse and with Spellcrafter even like what tier of ruse it casts. I'm like, yeah, I can sit here, it's fine. I've got this really nice axe, so it's cool.
Alright, so what do we still got going on stream? We've got Papa Dukes taking down... That's going to be Barbarizia, right? As our Air Fiend. And Goat's Pirate walking through Elfland. Oof, that kill 8. So rough.
Yeah, let me tell you about kill 8. It's a great way to end a chaos fight.
Yeah, that was not intended. I kind of forgot about it until it happened to the both of you over and over, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's a thing. So,
Like, you know, he can't always hit my melee guy with it, right? He can't always hit my ninja. And of course, for like, I think 2 of the 3 chaos fights, he hit the ninja with it. I was like, can you not? No, actually, I think he hit it for all 3 of the fights. And then my black belt like punched him like for 100 damage in the last fight and got the kill. I'm like, really? I was that close on like the second dive? Like, okay. That's really fun.
it was a very chunky chaos. Alright, so we've got 4 orbs on Papa Dukes with a loot.
I have no idea if he picked up the key at any point. I assume he did, but I didn't actually, like...
It wouldn't matter.
see it. Oh,
The-
yeah, you're right.
The ninja has lockpicking. So,
Oh, what level was that? I kept checking in the early games at 10 and 15.
it was at 18. And I saw somebody
yeah.
checked at 17. And I was like, ooh, that's so close.
I think it
Yeah,
was
I got-
Berg who looked at 17.
No, I was 15 on the last time I checked it. I could be wrong.
But, yep, no, I definitely had that as an Easter egg. I wanted a lot of things where if you were continually making these kind of minor checks that you would benefit from it. Like the Masa right there. Yeah, oh, it's a roost, not a cure.
Oh yeah, I saw it there now. That's some big bonuses on a Cure 1 sword. Looks like Papa Dukes also missed the 66 attack power or whatever it was.
Yep. I was actually, the way that I identify it on the chest info really quickly is the all classes that pops up.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it.
Alright, so this Black Knight should be going down no problem, although I think it does also have some fancy spell. Trance was not it. Alright, Asura on Goat's Pirate's side. There's a fade, wall coming out, not going to do anything against fade. The swing. We got ourselves an Earth Orb.
You know, I was feeling really cheeky at the 10-minute mark with having the Earth Orb lit thanks to those Fade Hammers. That was pretty neat.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the item magic on this one. I was going back and forth between giving you all one random caster item or getting 2 of them, and I wound up with 1 caster and 1 AoE. And I felt like that was a sufficient start.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was one of those things where I didn't even think to check the weapons until like I walked into like the dwarf cave location, which was at Elfland. And I walk in, I'm like, oh, there's Fade 6, hammers here or sticks here. This is pretty neat. I'm like, huh, I wonder if I have anything to sell. So I went and checked the weapons, and I was like, oh, I heal 2 dagger, I heal 6 thing, and some other thing, like the Fire 4 staff or whatever. I was like, huh, I can sell these and upgrade to Fade 6. This is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I thought it'd be rude to give you just 2 melees to start walking around.
See, I wasn't sure if that was by design or if that was a flag. So, like, before we started the seed, I'm sitting there, like, on the character menu. Like, I'm sitting there mashing, like, left and right, trying to change the characters. I'm like, okay, maybe it's just the seed that we ended up with, like, a Master Thief. Maybe it's, just RNG. Maybe it's by design. I'm not sure yet.
Yes, it was Master Thief forced. Alright, so the roost goes out, the wall goes out. Roost goes out. I mean, this wasn't a very punchy chaos, I don't recall. it being so. More buffing. Gotta get the damage in before the kill 8, especially without that 4th target.
And you said the power word threshold was 900 in this seed?
That is correct.
Fringe flags.
I wanted there to be a chance where if somebody did a full-on grind that they didn't have to worry about it, but I also needed it to be high enough that it could probably tear through most enemies, but not the bosses. Alright, we already had that fast come out, so I wonder if that was a mismenu there, but healing back up.
I think it was, because I think that fast is next to the heal knife.
10 hits 500, 2 hits 100. Gonna need like 4 more of those turns. Didn't get it here. There goes your main damage. For 214 could work. Okay, I was trying to get out of here, not going to work out that way. More Fade 6 is coming, more swings, 6 hits 270. Lost track of where Chaos is now, but probably in the middle of everything. Yikes. Now the timer is there.
Yeah, this was the position I was in on my first Chaos dive, and then got 2 crits for like 443 through max evade.
You know, I've been saying it to Wout the whole time too. Even after I get those evasion stacks up, I really have been liking high-level fogs on this flag set specifically, or just in Spellcrafter really, because it's just so much absorb. It's like giving everybody an opal bracelet every time you cast it. And so even if the crit gets through, it's crits ignoring absorb, isn't it? I guess it's the most multi-hits that I've been concerned with.
Okay, well, I've reached my limit, so I'm gonna have to call it a night.
Of course. Thank you for putting on such a show, and congratulations again.
Oh no, thank you for hosting this. This was great.
Of course.
Yeah, GG, Bert.
Yeah, thanks, LGG. And I'm sure I'll see you again in a week or 2.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. You know, everything's cyclical, right? I'm actually gonna do the same thing as Bert, since I've got a spouse who may or may not have to work in the morning in 5 hours, so I'm not sure yet. So instead of keeping her awake, I'm gonna bow out and thank you guys for broadcast, and Shum, thank you for the seed and the hosting and all this good stuff. I can't wait to watch this back tomorrow and listen to the commentary provided by you and Woke. So I'm sure it'll be a blast.
It'll be a something.
Take care, man.
Take care. Have a wonderful night. All right, what do we got left here? Let me see on the race time.
Yeah, no one else is finished. Papa Duck's had a misclick. Papa is in Let's Kill Chaos mode, and Goat's Pirate is still in the process of actually figuring out where the floater is.
I think Goat's Pirate is the one that I've been referring to for the most part here when it comes to bouncing out of the Hall of Dragons.
Yeah.
Man, VLC is doing a wonderful job of picking the correct person to highlight. So, on all 3 screens here, we have Goat's Pirate. Papa Duke's getting through the Black Knight again. Fortunately, going to be able to res that Master. I'm not sure, because I missed it in the Ale and Bert fight. Did Papa have the opportunity to get a fourth member? Or did he not do a turn-in that would have led to one?
Don't think he did. Because I don't recall if he's gotten the bottle. Let me go pull up the notes real quick.
While Wote's doing that, we've got the mythical map on screen. It appears to me that Goat's Pirate knows where he is in the world. It's going to be more of a, which location haven't I checked? And can he recall that he didn't actually make it through to the armory at Mirage? And it's going to be a real upsetting moment to him, I think, when he finds out that he was so close to that floater. I think the seed could have very well been his with that floater. But again, Astaroth being so early. It's up
I'm
in
not
the air.
entirely sure if Papa Ducks did either of the other turn-ins to pick up stuff. He's had the option, but I think he managed to walk into the right places to not need it.
Right. So, let's see, with this chaos fight going on, maybe I will... Let's highlight that. Oh, it appears that Goat's Pirate has forfeit. Probably not able to recognize where we were missing, but Goat's Pirate, good game at around 2 hours and 22 minutes. Really on the cusp of being able to finish this, but I know that that this was about the threshold for most of the runners at 2.5 hours or so. So hopefully we have Papa Dukes here on stream able to take down Chaos. Gonna probably need a little bit more buffing. Those crits aren't going to be dealing as much damage as we're hoping. Also, if we can get that Masamune, if people could recognize that it is there, it'd be great, but I can't imagine that we're going to be turning back to those chests. Alright, we're coming back up on the kill 8 on the spell list. And there it is. Frustrating because it's so close, and we know that you're capable, right? Getting through it. This isn't one of those examples of levels being the solution. It appears Papa Dukes might be looking for kill 8 for himself to use on Chaos, which would be valuable if it had no threshold. It does, in fact, have a threshold, though, so...
I mean, it's one of those things where it's probably still worth it to him to find out.
Check the weapon shops. Oh no, I think he actually has a weapon from Provoca already. Man, what wonderful access to these spells. Yeah, it's going to be real hard to find something like this. I think the alternative would be just following an item turn-in that perhaps he hadn't done yet and trying to find a fourth party member. That's really going to allow him to kind of absorb that even the one extra turn of kill 8 might be enough. Or again, if he checks the chests here.
Yeah. That is one thing that I've noticed seeing people running Weaponizer is, there does seem to be a lack of awareness, and that's not a knock to phrase it that way, but just like, I don't think people realize like how to recognize the Masa with Weaponizer on.
But not even necessarily the Masa, right? We had Aelmarkin swing that knife early on, that heal 2 plus 3 knife. And that was huge to recognize, like, we're doing 20 damage with 60 crit at, like, level 5. That's going to take you through the game. So it's more about, I think, understanding the range of values that are in vanilla on weapons, and then recognizing, like, these are accessible to different party members than would otherwise equip this style of gear.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how, like, runners develop as they get more and more used to the Weaponizer.
And I think part of it, unfortunately, is in making this party comp a forced double melee, I wanted the ability for them to still cast magic. So I did assign magic to every item. Now, Weaponizer, by default, doesn't have such crazy naming because of all the spells, right? Like, it will have names that kind of indicate, oh, this is a high quality item, or this is an item that is going to exploit an elemental weakness, which, by the way, is the secondary thing of what they might want to look for, because the elemental damage was actually turned up to max here. So the bonus damage is a plus 50 if you hit with an elemental weakness. So it's really going to be a matter of like looking at damage ranges, of looking at the names of these items when the, not spellcaster, but when the Weaponizer with item magic is not on, but just the Weaponizer is. And a pony loose in Chaos's floor. What an awkward pony that is. Alright, so hopefully Papa changes up the plan a little bit to recognize, you know what, maybe we don't do a whole lot of buffing, but it needs to be more than nothing. Do we have a saber gauntlet on him?
I don't know.
We'll find out. Yeah, that wall's not going to do much. You already have...
We do not.
We don't need the defensive stuff so much. As the crit hits, of course.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can see why he would be concerned about that.
Man, I commentator curse everything. It's starting to get on my nerves. Alright, 6 hits, 114. That's not really going to do it. Not with how short the spell list is. So we're at 300 damage or so. $630. Now we're up to 880 or so. Another 400, let's call it. Let's say we're at 1300 now. We're at 14. That warp is always welcome. 1650.
Yeah.
1850. 1950. Come on. We know he's around 3000-ish. 2250, but there's our second kill, 8. See, now this would be when our kill 8 would probably have a chance of working. Alright, we're about 2500.
Yeah, 25 or 2600, 2700.
It's gotta be close.
Yeah, that's like 31 or 32, and there's the kill 8.
Yeah, we need some sort of temper, some sort of saber, just or the Masamune really needs the extra weapon. I think it would be enough of the oomph that we're missing here. Fast going off after the slow. That's a nice turn order, finally. I don't know what Fist is afraid of, but gonna punch its way out of there.
I'm wondering at this point if, like... I don't know where I was going with that.
I don't know either, so I'll let you come back. If it's any consolation to Papa Dukes, we still have 4 runners off stream that have not finished. So, Ale and Bert are the only 2 that have.
Yeah. I mean, given what we've seen, this isn't all that surprising.
2.5 hours was, I believe, around, like, the average, right? Like, Bert and Ale, we know to be very strong runners, pick up on a lot of those nuances, the breadcrumbs that I left, and some of the other runners perhaps a little less familiar with floor entrance or with the combination of things just sort of muddling up the brain. 2.5 hours sounds like a very reasonable time, and we know that Papa Dukes is, like, right on the cusp of doing this. So, honestly, if just stop the roosing and hope that it doesn't punch you down. I think that's the extra turn or 2 that you need to punch him. Maybe even get that white caster in on using some fades. Oh, rough.
Yeah, I mean, the bright side is the Master is doing decent damage.
I suppose
that's...
So it is a level 32 Master, right? So if we get the 16 hits, but they're critting, we can actually do something.
Yeah.
But that kill 8's going to be coming out after the next Avox, and if Chaos doesn't switch to skills, we're in trouble. Oh, nope, it's now. Yeah, if Papa would turn in some of those items, we'd get our Saber Gauntlet, and I believe our 4th party member, and that would be enough. Off stream at 2:33:44, we have Devious RNG finishing with a race time GG score of time of 2:33:44.
Oh, let's see here. We had about a 10-minute gap between first and second, and then about a 30-minute gap between second and third. So
I have to imagine that the next couple of spots are going to be within 10 minutes.
yeah, I'm apt to agree with you. I imagine at this point that the remaining 3 runners, Papa Ducks and the other 2, are probably all in a similar position of just trying to get past this kill 8.
It would be easy enough to see by pulling up the other streams. So I'm not going to insert them on our stream because I don't want to blow up their spot. Especially if they're not ready to be restreamed. But it looks like Wild Him is at Chaos, also running 3-person. In his case, it looks like Ninja, Master, and can't tell, tiny character. Black Wizard. And our last off-stream runner, Metagloria, still turning in a couple of items, it appears. So I'm at Elfland.
Okay, so that's...
Oh, nope, now at Gaia. I turned in the bottle.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so that, yeah, if he's at Elfland, that's getting the bottle from the prince and immediately turning it into the fairy.
Which would get you a red wizard. So that is one of those things that Papa could consider. I don't recall Elf Castle being too deep.
Elf Castle, I'm pretty sure was... I don't actually remember where Elfland Castle was.
Throw out your notes. We're done tonight.
But in any case, so... Yeah, that's about what I expected. A little bit of, you know, having to figure out where we need to go from here, and then a little bit of... Oh god, chaos, why?
Alright. We try again. Hopefully with a little bit more oomph. Avox. Interesting. Attempting to crowd control chaos. Rough. That's a very rough start. Yeah. Wasn't going to happen with having been punched down immediately. And we have off-stream Wild Him taking down Chaos. Race time GG time 2 hours, 37 minutes, and 25 seconds. Good game to our off-stream runner. Running out of things to say about what's going on here. It seems it's very straightforward. We're still just hoping that RNG is in our favor. It is an unfortunate amount of time to keep refighting this, but I am glad that we went with Short and Topher, because that would have been a little devastating. There was a brief moment where I did consider Deep Topher as an option here.
I feel like that would be the point where, like, your first test run of these flags, you would go, nope.
Alternatively, I would have like a really nice set of spells and things that I'm built up against, and it's like, oh, that was easy.
I'm giving you credit that you would recognize, even if it was easy, like, this could have gone downhill so quickly.
Guy, even if it's like 100 to 150 scaling, if it's a Deep Topher, I'm not screwing around with that. It's so draining. It feels so bad. Papa Dukes is right there. And it's like, all of this time, I said it wasn't really an issue about levels, but realistically, if he would gain 10 levels, then that master is hitting like a truck instead of like, you know, a strong car.
Like a truck instead of like a sedan.
Yeah. You know why chicken coops only have 2 doors?
Why do chicken coops only have 2 doors?
Because if they had 4, they'd be chicken sedans. Hey, got him, these jokes. Oh, Hate 13, sad that it's almost over. Don't be sad it's almost over, be happy that it happened. Or something.
Nah,
It's still happening. It is still happening, it'll never stop. I'm gonna go to bed, I'm just gonna leave the restream on. Yeah, that floater was definitely... So it was in an interesting spot because everybody had access to it within like 10 minutes. And almost nobody got it until, an hour. Well, when did the first person on stream get it? Like 75 minutes or so?
Ale got it 75 minutes or so. Bert picked up like 10 to 15 minutes later.
Yeah.
But the difference there was just that, like, Bert had pillaged everything before he got there, whereas Ale had to go back and do all the stuff Bert had done.
Right.
Which was not significantly faster with the lack of overworld encounters in the speedboat.
Alright, could this be the run? If that ninja gets hit with the next kill 8, we might have this.
Yeah, they're punching some serious damage out at the moment.
Well, and then as soon as we say that, it disappears. I don't know what happened this time that they were hitting so hard. Oh, Ninja got hit.
Yeah?
There we go.
There we
Papa
go.
Dukes.
Get those GGs in
Oh,
chat.
boy. Hey, I wish I could take credit for that flag. I think that was probably a Dark Moon. But, alright, Papa Dukes in 5th place with a race time GG of 2:41.37. Asking if he would like to come into the booth very quickly. I do want to get to bed at a reasonable hour. I mean, we're already past reasonable. Woot, I don't know how you feel about it, but I do want to get Papa Dukes in here. I mean, he put in the work. He has earned the right to jump in.
I'm fine by it. I'm usually up this late anyway. And all I've got to do tomorrow is pretend to be a trickster goddess and not actually do anything.
Interesting
Tabletop
hobby.
role-playing games.
That works. All right, let's get Papa in here.
Alrighty.
Papa Dukes, good game.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
Hey, yes we can. So, that Topher.
That Topher wasn't even that bad, except for that kill 8.
Yeah, that power word threshold was set to set to 900.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I was leveling up, trying to get to 6, hoping it was set at 600 when I was trying to fight what's his name, the one that
Oops.
replaced Tiamat.
Sorry, I was hearing myself on echo. Where am I coming in?
All right.
Oh, that's why I'm listening to your stream and you're hearing me.
Oh.
There we go. That's. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah, when I was having trouble with the Tiamat replacement boss, I can't remember his name. I was trying to level up to get my black belt and thief over 600 HP, hoping it was set at 600, and that wasn't the case.
Yeah, so that leveling up, I mean, that definitely helped you in getting through this chaos, because if you weren't in your 30s at this point with only 3 party members,
Yeah.
that wasn't going to happen. Now, I'm curious, though, because you didn't go there with 2 party members, so you knew that there was definitely a party member at a turn-in. Was there a reason why you
Yeah.
didn't hunt down additional turn-ins to grab your 4th party member?
Because it was I thought I could get it done with a 32 black belt and fast. I thought I'd be able to get it done quicker than I did. I just didn't want to spend the time doing it.
Yeah, I guess
I was pretty well geared.
without kill 8, that probably is very viable.
Yeah.
That was an unfortunate role for Chaos to have so frequently on the spell list. Can I ask you the same question I asked the others? Is there a reason why you passed up the Masamune?
I didn't know which one it was.
You beelined straight to the chest when you got into Topher. And then, yeah, I guess with the spell names on, everyone seems to be missing that. So it's
Yeah.
unfortunate. It seemed like a very strong item, and I think that would have pushed you over a little bit quicker.
Yeah. That axe was decent on the ninja, but it was inconsistent.
Yeah.
It had a high crit rate, but not great damage. So I was, I do 8 hits for 8 damage one turn, and then 8 hits for 600 damage the next turn.
Yeah, it was very swingy, and I knew it was just a matter of RNG at that point.
I mean, I knew the way it was going without leveling up more, which I didn't want to go do. I was gonna have to get turn order where the white mage was the first to get kill 8, and the master was the last one to get it. I knew that was the only way I was going to get through because he was the only one doing consistent damage at the end.
Well, whatever it
Even though
was,
only 400 damage.
it worked, and that's all that matters. How are you feeling about that? The flag set as a whole, I suppose, or how that run went.
That was a fun seed. It really was. That was a fun seed. I like Weaponizer. I'm not sure if I like Spellcrafter yet. Mainly because I don't know the spells well enough.
That's fair, and
like
I think
if I'm looking at it at a shop, I can see what it does, but it says it casts something. I don't even know. I have no idea what that does.
so. I didn't tell the others. My original flag set for this actually had obfuscated spell names, so it was just going to be an assortment of random letters and numbers.
Nice.
But
Nice.
I could have also seen like Bert loading up the seed and then instantly quitting out and being like, I'm not doing this one.
Yeah,
Because then every weapon would just look like it was just gobbledygook.
Yeah, the problem with spell obfuscation also is just like you have to have a very finely tuned sense of like what different spell effects look like
Yeah.
to be able to put together what your spell list is.
See, I think I would only go even so far as to say, was it a single target? Was it on me or was it on them? Type of thing.
Yeah.
But so that didn't happen, and we did get through this. And I don't mean to cut this too short, but it has been about a 3-hour broadcast. And at this point, I'm going to ask Papa Duke, since you're the remaining member on stream, if you have any final thoughts, if you'd like to share them.
No, not really. It was a fun seed. I wish I could have found that fourth party member. I think that would have been the difference in getting through Topher quicker. But I just didn't take the time. I should have.
Yeah, it was
still a good time.
Yeah, there was one at Ferry and one at Astos.
Okay.
Yeah, the two you didn't find were Ferry and Astos.
Yeah.
I believe. So, oh no, was it?
No,
Elf?
I did Astos.
Yeah, no, it was Elf Prince and Ferry.
Elf Prince. Yeah, I never found Elf Castle.
Yeah.
That would do it.
Okay. But yeah.
And
Y'all take care. I'm gonna go ahead and duck out. Thanks for watching, everyone, and thanks for running, Papa and everyone else who watches the replay.
And thanks to you guys for broadcasting it.
Of course. And then thank you to everybody in chat who's been hanging out with us. Thank you to all the runners for putting on what a wonderful show. Thank you to Wout for doing my tracking, keeping me in check, and just being a fun time to come with tonight. So thank you all, and we'll see you throughout the season. I guess Iron Goal Season 3 just started, so there's going to be a lot of new matches, a lot of restreams on those matches, I imagine, are in Ankylo on Saturday nights. And yeah, this is Shumbabi, and I'm just wishing you all well, and have a wonderful rest of your everything until I see you next time.